Alright, so for today's video, we're going to be doing a no FERT, just dirt Diana Wallstead style planted aquarium. This isn't going to be for me, it's actually going to be for my mother. Maybe like a late Mother's Day present because I didn't do anything. Yeah, so this is like a 7-gallon, something like that, rimless aquarium that I got from a friend. It came with a filter. We're going to put wood in it, we're going to put dirt in it, we're going to cap that dirt and then plant it and never FERT it, and just hopefully it grows and looks really, really nice. So anyways, I'll kind of give you guys a look at the tank now, and then I'm going to collect what I need to dirt it, and we're going to go ahead, get it set up, maybe a little bit scaped and cycling over at her place, my parents' house, and then we're going to let it cycle for a little while. Once it's done cycling, we'll move fish over. I'll show you her current tank. I do have a video on it. This one I set up a really long time ago. It's actually a really good little tank for a small tank. But yeah, I'll show you that as well. And then we'll get this tank set up. I'll show you what I use for my dirt combinations, because that's something I've kind of held back for a little bit. And I was supposed to have gotten that out there. But yeah. So anyways, we'll take a look at the tank now, and then we'll go ahead, head over there and get it all set up. Alright, so this is the tank that we're going to be setting up. This is like a 7-gallon rimless, really nice tank. I really like it. I'd like to keep it, but I just don't have the space for it or the time, because I like to put CO2 on this. But we're going to be doing a Diana Wallstead, no CO2, no FERTs, and possibly even no filter setup on this. I do believe she doesn't run a filter on her setups. But anyways, this is the book that I'm going to be quoting throughout this, Ecology of the Planted Aquarium by Diana Wallstead. I'll throw a link in the description below where you can find this on Amazon and maybe a few other places. I think it cost me about $30, but it just has an abundance of useful information for the planted aquarist. And one of the things I really liked about this book is she actually links and provides proof, like a bibliography on the pages, though, where she gets her information from the actual like studies performed to get that information. And she does like do assays on the tissues of leaves to see what is actually in them. So it's a very amazing book. It'll open your eyes a lot. It's taught me a lot. So I recommend getting it and at least kind of reading through it. If you can't read the whole thing, it is kind of set up like something you get in high school, but it's a lot funner to read and, you know, learn stuff when you're passionate about it versus you know, what they kind of teach in high school. But yeah, so anyways, this is the tank. This is some of the wood maybe going in there. I have some more wood over here, a little filter that'll go on it for the, you know, the first few months, and then the light. And this is actually one of the lights that I use a lot in my fish room. This costs like $10 or $12 off of eBay. It's a pretty bright light. We'll see it once it's all set up, but you can kind of see. I have this light lighting this tank as well, so I have 2 of these on this 40 breeder, and it does a pretty good job. Yeah. So anyways, we'll take a look at my dirt combo that I use. The Texas green sand specifically, and then we will go get this set up and cycling and take a look at the other tank. Alright, so this is the dirt that we're going to be using, and this is a mixture of my worm castings that I have made in my own backyard from my red wriggler culture. It's about a third worm castings from my red wriggler culture, and then a third store-bought organic ladybug mushroom compost, and then another third, possibly even half, I'd say it's closer to a third though, of Texas green sand. Alright, so this is the Texas green sand that I've been using in all of my tanks. Like every single tank that I have set up now has a 1/4 inch of this on the bottom of it. And I do that because this has a lot in it. You can kind of see the analysis here: potassium, or potash, not potassium, magnesium, iron, manganese, molybdenum. I do think it has a little bit of potassium in it as well. So we're 001 NPK, K being potassium. So yeah, yep, that's correct. But yeah, so it does have a little bit of potassium in the potash, but yeah, I put this in every tank. I like it more than doing a dirt because when I uproot plants, this is still pretty heavy and it tends to just sink in the water. If I don't stir up the plants too much and I gently pull them out, this will sink and it won't ruin my tank. Whereas peat moss or soil containing kind of dirts tend to float up and really muck up a tank, where this is not as bad. This is a clay-based sand, basically. So yeah. Also, I do want to go ahead and recommend, if you're interested in this, I don't know if you can get it if you're not in Texas. Amazon has it, but it's ridiculously expensive. I pay about $12 for 40 pounds of it. I think it's $13 for 40 pounds, and it lasts a while. We're talking about a lot of tanks can get done with this, and I also put it into my garden because it's just really good for plants. But check Amazon. I would go to your local Tractor Supply or agriculture store or garden center and see if they can order it in for you, because it'll likely be cheaper than that to do that than like go on Amazon. But yeah, also, if you're really interested in this stuff, it's worth doing some research on, because there are some interesting studies that have been done with this, comparing this to non-organic chemical fertilizers, where this actually outcompeted the chemical fertilizers. So there's some pretty interesting studies out there. And this is what we'll be using for substrate. Should say what it is on here. English consists of montmorillonite clay, crystalline silica, and varying amounts of typically less than 10%. So, sand and clay. Alright, so here is the current setup. This is like a little 2-gallon jar. You can see I have a betta in there. Now this betta, it's a female betta, and I was actually texted a picture of it like 2 or 3 days ago. I'm pretty sure she's having some egg-bound issues. You can kind of see she's really big. She's been a healthy betta for a while, but she just started to get big, so I might put in some Epsom salts, because yeah, that doesn't look very good. But yeah, hopefully she can pass those eggs. But you know, I got this betta when it was a little baby, so it's at least 1.5 years old now. Probably more than that, considering it was a baby when I got it. But yeah, we'll go see if we can't help it. But other than that, the tank is running good. It has a little bit of filtration. There are ghost shrimp that are breeding in it. That is Java moss, some Anubias. Yeah, poor girl's big. You don't need any food, honey. You need to quit eating for a little while. But yeah, so there's ghost shrimp breeding in there. A little bit of Java fern, and Anubias, and that's basically it. Pretty simple setup, and it just has a little bit of Texas green sand capped with black diamond blasting sand, and then that is basically just mulm. That's all mulm right there, plant food. But yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll get this set up. All right, so the tank's gonna go here, but the issue is there's like a little bit of a wobble to it, so I need to put something under it so it doesn't do that or stress the tank in any way. Alright, so it has robbed a piece of foam from one of my mom's yoga mats. So, sorry mom, but we needed it for this more. Plus you had 2 yoga mats. Alright, let's go ahead and get this set up. Get this laid out. And go ahead and throw in this dirt. And again, this is 1/3 Texas green sand, 1/3 worm castings, and then another 1/3 organic mushroom compost. You do want to go organic when you can, because sometimes those worm composts come from leftover cattle manure. Sometimes they have meds that they put in the cattle. All right, now to rinse the safety zorb. We're just going to put it up front, the substrate up front, and scoot that dirt back just so it looks a little bit nicer. You do want this tank to look good, if possible. And that is why I like those cheap little eBay LEDs. Again, I'll have a link for this LED in the description of this video so you can find it. Really good. They are going up in cost. They were like $25 for 48-inch. Now they're like $30, but it's definitely still worth it. Oops, sorry, but yeah, definitely still a good light, for especially for the price. I think I paid $12 for that, and it's gonna grow some plants. Couldn't see that. So we plugged in the filter. I've got the light on it. Got the substrate in. See, that's why I did that. That's why I pushed that dirt back, is so you don't see a bunch of dirt now. You just see the gravel. So it looks like there's gravel all the way through, even though we have about an inch of dirt all the way back from 3/4 of the way back. So what I'm going to do now is I might put in some wood to let it start kind of soaking up water. And then I might put in some rocks as well. Of course, I'll probably take out some of that water. But then I'll squeeze out the sponge from this little tank here into there, and we'll just let this sit for a few weeks, and we'll toss in some food, and then we will come back, get it planted and scaped, and get some fish in it. We're just going to leave that wood in there like that for now. It's not a final scape. That way some of it can absorb some water and kind of sink better. And then over here, we just have a little bit of Cereus stone and dragon stone. We're just going to leave this here and come back and place that when I have plants and I know what plants I'm putting in here. Alright, so for the final step, we're going to get the little sponge out of here. And this is dechlored water already. And just squeeze this out. I don't want to squeeze too much because I want to keep that bacterial load on the sponge for the betta in his little 2-gallon, or her little 2-gallon. Alright, so that's almost it, but a few more things to do, or one more thing to do. I'm not sure. Okay, she's got a few different foods here. But yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll put in a good amount of food. I mean, it's a pretty good amount right there. Even a little more. That's a lot, but I'm going to go ahead and also take out a few of these snails and put them in there as well, because they'll also help break some of that stuff down and add to the load. Got one. Alright, so that is basically it. This is going to go down here in a few weeks once that's done cycling. We've got a filter on it, we've got a light on it, some wood, we need rocks, we need plants, we need fish, and then we're done. So we will tune back in once we get this finished. Anyways, this will be like an ongoing project. So occasionally we'll just tune back into this, see how it's doing. Again, this is the No Fert Just Dirt Diana Wallstead style planted tank. So anyways, I will see you guys in the next one, and yeah. Also, if you like what you saw, you can hit the sub, you can hit that like. I do have a website where you can purchase fish, shrimp, snails, and a lot of aquatic plants, so you can check that out. I will put that in the description below, and I will see you guys on the next one. I need to like catch my breath before I fucking do this shit. How's the mustache look? That is like sweet. I really need to get this up there. Nice and pointy for the video.